Last we left off, you all made your way down the Tsolenka Pass away from the Amber Temple, with Krima pulling the cart. You stopped several hours into the unforgiving trek to get some much-needed rest, as Krima said she could no longer carry on pulling the cart. As you started to settle down in the cave, you all started reminiscing about what you would do when you were free from Barovia. Sipping on beer from the alchemy jug, you all had a fun-filled evening and gained the benefit of the long rest. When you woke, a strange man was sitting in your camp. Ramiz Soul, a man with many tattoos scribed on his bald scalp. He explained that he mistook Panton for something evil due to his aura, but let him leave. He gave Honora some of Panton's belongings and then decided to continue down the mountain with you all. After several more hours, you made it to the disheveled bridge that was what appeared to be a sealed portcullis. As you broke your way into the abandoned guard tower and raised the gate, you could hear a distant screech, and out through the clouds, in a free dive, is a massive rock. I don't believe we rolled for initiative,
Nope.
but you can go ahead and do so now.
Okay. Were you planning to... There it goes, okay.
Yep, I just wanted to get the talking out of the way first.
Fair.
Oh,
Slow on the
lordy.
upkeep right there,
Oh,
all the
god
teams.
damn it.
Forget to click your token.
Yeah,
Might have been forgot how to play.
Oh god.
I was thinking that in my head.
Take a
as I
week
was,
off
going
and you
through this
forget
stuff.
that you have to click on your token.
I
It's been
gotcha.
2 weeks.
I almost clicked the dexterity check. So
Completely forgot D&D in 2 weeks. Jeez.
No,
Dude,
I
it's
haven't
been-
because I've been
Dude,
playing
what-
some
what
Baldur's
even
Gate
is
It's
3.
been like 2 months
Oh
for
my
you,
god,
hasn't
if
it?
you have that game, you need to let me know and I will pop in and play with you. I love that game.
What game?
It's a good game.
Baldur's Gate 3. It's D&D 5th edition.
Oh. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I think it's
Gorgeous.
officially launched in April this year. Early
August.
access. August? Okay. So it's only got a year left in early access before it comes out fully.
Alrighty.
They can take as long as they want with it.
I know, I
After
love
that,
being able to play. I've had early access since the day it dropped, so I've been playing it for 2 years.
Oh wow.
Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, you're fine. Ramiz being the first, having heard a little bit of the bird before it came from the clouds, you're the first to react first in the turn order. It is still a couple 100 feet in the air.
I'm looking at everybody else and I'm gauging their reactions right quick. Like immediately, what do I see you guys doing?
From Krima's standpoint, she is frantically looking around, trying to figure out where she can put this cart to try to protect the skull and the goods, thinking that potentially the rock is after something that is in the cart. Oh, I was wondering what the fuck was being drawn.
Card.
Makes sense. Good stuff.
You, that's amazing.
It was going to be.
Do I see this thing, or have I just heard it from where I'm at?
It's immediate. Like, you hear it from above you, and it draws your attention immediately. You're outside right now, so, like, you looking up, you can see it. It is massive, but it is currently in a free dive. Its wings tucked back. It is just straight, perpendicular to the ground, just diving.
I'd say Radovan looks sad and exhausted. That just another thing is coming to try to kill us, and is looking ready to make a sprint for the gate to try to get some cover.
Okay. Yeah, the gate is open. Like, there are two like guard shacks that are on either side of that portcullis. It is now raised. That was one of the last things that was done that actually alerted the rock to come down. Was hearing the clanking of the chain. What are the rest
So
of you doing?
I would shout, "Get inside!"
Okay, Ramiz, your turn. What do you do?
Judging by everybody else's general look of worn downness and maybe fear, I am going to cast. Not that one. Speak with animals.
Okay.
And
What's the range on that? I guess it's on self.
it is on self,
yeah.
correct.
What are you doing with that?
And I will tell everybody, make your way to the portcullis, and then I will look up at the rock, and then you guys will just hear me screeching, sounding like this fucking bird, but I will be in the bird's language. I will be shouting, "Not prey, dangerous foe, don't eat." And I'll just keep squawking that my entire turn. And maybe I will even... Wow, I can move and cast? Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't have to worry about rolling a d20 anymore? Or a d1, or yeah, d20.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go... Oh, hold on, wait. That's 15 feet. I don't want to be by the tree, actually. I'm going to get out here in the open. And I'll just be waving my arm frantically at the rock, and yeah, that's what I will be shouting as it's dive bombing us.
Okie dokie. Temperance, it is now your turn.
Yeah, Temperance thinks that Baldy is absolutely crazy for just screeching instead of doing something. So she's gonna rock a couple of Eldritch Blasts because they've got a range of 300 feet.
Okay.
Do either of those hit?
You got a 12 and a 21. Your 12 misses, but your 21 hits. As it's going down, it is very narrow profile. The first one, it just kind of curves just a little bit, diving, missing it. The second one seems to, both of them coming side by side, clips its wing, dealing 13 points of force damage. You see the feathers just kind of, the plumes just kind of fall into the sky, now slowly coming down to the ground while the rock is still dive bombing.
And then I'm gonna go hide under that tree. Just in case we decide not to, immediately go for the gate.
Okay.
I'm still halfway there.
Alrighty. It was the rock's turn. It is going to use 240 feet of its movement. Its movement and its action to move, so it's got 120-foot fly speed.
Jesus.
But you said it was only about 100 feet away.
No, I said it was a couple hundred feet away.
Okay.
So it was just on the edge of range for Temperance.
Okay.
And as it's now only maybe 60 or so feet away, anybody that's still outside can clearly see, especially now that it is Krima's turn. She's got the wagon and she's pulling it towards the, kind of over here in this area, try to get it underneath of the tree. You can see that the rock has honed in on Krima. And in your speak with animals, you can kind of get the sensation, the feeling from the rock that this is a bountiful feast, that this would feed the rock for days to come.
Buddy, you don't know what you're doing.
Prima gets over there and now kind of hunkered down, crouched next to the cart, looking up to the sky, knowing that there's no way that she's going to be able to fit inside of the guard shacks. Just way too big, so she's just taking refuge underneath of the trees. It is now Anderson's turn.
I mean, Radovan, were you in the cart?
I wouldn't have
Okay.
ridden
I
it
was.
over. Okay.
Okay. So where is the rock right now?
Let me look at my ruler. It's about right there, 60 feet in the air at like greater than 45-degree angle, just dive bombing. We're talking about like a 75-degree angle, just swooping right in now at Krima.
Okay. Do I get? No, I wouldn't know that. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to go try to help Krima.
Okay.
I'm gonna get here, bonus action, go werewolf form.
All right.
And I'm going to hold my action when the bird takes like an aggressive action towards any of us, or in this case, Krima. I'm gonna take a swipe at it.
Okay. So were you like, did you transform and jump up onto the cart to where you're like kind of in that line of sight? Because Krima's, she's much taller than you.
Yeah.
And so, like, in order to even be kind of close on that footing, you would have to be up there. Especially underneath of the trees, it would be really difficult to get a solid angle on the rock to attack. You're holding your action to make an attack against the rock if it gets close.
Yeah.
All right, that ends your turn. Radovan, you're up next.
All right. Wait, how much space was that? Okay, cool. Seeing it going for... Originally kind of going for the gate. I see it going for Honora and Anderson and Krima. And I'm going to run over to Honora. Quickly, I need your shield. And I'll reach out and grab the shield, the dragon shield that Honora has. And I'll cast this spell that requires that as a component.
Summon Draconic Spirit.
Holy shit!
If that's...
You call forth a Draconic Spirit. It manifests an occupied space that you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the Draconic Spirit stat block. I think I have that made somewhere. Because I know we talked
An object
about
with an image of a dragon engraved on it worth at least 500 GP. That is my shield for sure.
I would think it's worth at least that much. It seemed pretty
John,
fancy.
is her shield worth 499 gold pieces?
Oh, bummer.
What you didn't know is Radovan had a coin in his hand as he...
Damn!
Put it on the
there you
shield.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
499 gold pieces and 9 silver.
What's the size on it? It's large?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, can I post this somehow? Yeah. There.
I think a young dragon is large, right? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna use this as the token for right now. I don't have your stat block. I'll have to create. I know I created it somewhere, but I can't find it.
You could just put it in D&D Beyond in the extra tab. You could just look up the Draconic Spirit, and it should just be something he can pull from his character sheet.
We'll use this right now for at least just the idea of where you want to place it. Let me make it to where you can control it.
So yeah, if you go to extra and then manage extras, and there's a summons. And you can just put in what you're looking for.
Which is a summoned Draconic Spirit. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Or if it's like a young dragon, you can do that.
I'm not finding it from under at least the name.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm sorry. I thought it would be really cool. I didn't want to like make this.
No, you're good. What do you
right.
want to do with it? So you've summoned it now. It takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands. If you don't issue any, it takes a dodge action, uses its move to avoid danger. So it goes right after you. If you've completed any action, you did your movement, you've done your action. Do you have any sort of bonus action or anything that you want to do?
No. I mean, like I'll move up against the wall, and I want the dragon to. Cause I can't do anything else. I'll have the dragon go up and use. Half the spell's level, rounded down. Okay, then I'll have it go attack.
Okay. What's its movement speed, does it say?
Yes, it is.
It's got a range of
60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's the range of the spell.
We'll say like as you summon it, like you summon it closer to be able to move it towards the rock.
It's
like
a 30-foot speed, a 60-foot fly, and a
60-foot fly. Yeah, okay. So 60-foot fly, and I can summon it 60 feet away, so that's 120 feet.
So you're able to make it up to it. We'll just say you're right there for right now. You're gonna have it attack. Go ahead and roll for your attack.
Mm-hmm. And I have to pick a resistance. I'll pick force. It's a silver dragon. We'll have it do. Do I get to pick?
Silver does cold.
Okay, so I do a multi-attack. Let's see. I want to be able to just click a button so that it'll go.
Honora, be thinking about what
my
you want to do
spell
next.
attack modifier to hit.
I know what I want.
Okay.
Is it with my proficiency though? Is the question.
Spell attack modifier to hit, so I would.
So I just do wisdom.
Yeah.
A wisdom.
Yeah, because it says your proficiency bonus equals your bonus.
That's cool.
Oh, okay.
It
okay,
does say
so
that.
I'll just do like a produce flame attack, and then we'll roll the damage from. So 20 hit.
20 does hit.
Okay.
And so I'm clear, this is a claw attack, right?
Yeah, we're doing the claw attacks first.
Okay.
Rend, it looks like.
All right.
So 6. 20 again.
Yep, that hits.
Is that +4? That's not the spell's level, so it's.
What do you see in the +4? I'm sorry.
It's to hit. It's 1d6 +4. So.
That's what it's saying.
And then plus the spell's level piercing damage. So I think it should be.
So you add an extra 5 damage to.
Yeah. So it should be 11 damage. And 14 damage.
Okay. So a total of.
You
25.
could spend the next time getting your turn getting this all settled up.
Yeah. I was like, oh wait, I could do this. I've been wanting to use this spell for a while.
It's a complicated spell for sure.
Yeah. Next session, I'll actually have you a token made with your attacks and things. That's my fault.
Okay.
Alrighty.
No.
So
I didn't know.
It's not.
The
yeah.
episode ended in a way that I probably could have thought. And then I'll use the destructive breath weapon. So
so it has 3
make
attacks, 2 melee and 1.
And
Dang.
it uses his butt weapon. Yeah, shit.
Shit, dude.
Alrighty.
And it's got to make a dex save against his spell dex save DC.
Yeah.
12, so I don't think that saves.
No. But just 5 more damage. So all told, I think it was 14 plus 11.
Yeah. 20.
25.
Plus 5.
30.
30 damage.
Yep.
I did math.
And that's my turn.
Alrighty.
And my dragon's turn.
Yeah, as Radovan comes over and touches your shield, you see this silver draconic just leap forth from your shield, and just spiritual entity just kind of float out near the rock and manifest itself into very physical form and just start attacking this bird. It is coming down, wings just flapping like crazy. Now, Honora, it is your turn.
Krima, I need you to first off, I'd like to climb on you. Is that okay?
Oh, sure. Anything you need.
Okay, and then I need you to stay down. Yeah. So, I'm gonna climb up on her shoulder, protect her as much as I can.
Just like as you're in the cart and you're standing up and she's still several feet towering over you, she kind of dips down a little bit and lets her massive arm drape into the wagon, and you just kind of scurry up on top of it using, we'll just say, 5 feet of movement to get up there.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I would like to do something in a weird way.
Okay.
I'd like to cast Dancing Lights right in the rock's face and try to distract or blind it.
Okay. All right. What's your spell save DC? Like, I know that's
14.
not like an attack spell, so I'm gonna roll like a Constitution check to see whether or not it can beat that spell save DC of you putting it right there, like really focusing on where you want these lights to be, and as it's diving down, being distracted from, the dragon attacking it. We'll see whether or not it's distracted by your lights. It rolls a 10. So with that, I'll say that on its next turn, any attacks that it makes, I'll just have it make it with disadvantage.
Great, that sounds lovely.
We'll call it that it's been blinded enough that it's still massive. Its talons are really massive. It's like an oversized claw machine digging into a box of stuffed animals, right? It's gonna grab something, but we'll see what
Hopefully
happens.
it gets me instead of her.
Well, don't go all suicidal now that your brother's gone.
No, I'm not suicidal. It's fine.
I'm kidding. Do you do anything else with your turn? That was a little bit of your movement, your action. Okay.
I just want to do that.
Ramiz, it's your turn. Still seeing that this rock still seems determined. Give me a perception check. Like not part of your turn.
Love those.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like, now that this rock is extremely close, you can notice a couple things. Just like as you're trying to communicate with it, you can see that despite the image that it has on the screen, it is much more slender. Like some of the feathers that you would see, the plumage on like the breast area is like molted, patchy. You can see that this thing looks like it is starving. It is absolutely malnourished to the point of frenzy.
Okay.
But now you can take your turn. You thought I was going to say it was undead?
Yeah, I was like, oh, motherfucker, you're so dead now.
It's a vampire bird. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm still shouting at it, dangerous prey and everything, but while I'm doing it, I'm going to take shots at it.
Okay.
So first off,
do it to it.
I'm going to, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike.
I love Zephyr Strike.
So, there is that. All of my shots I'm taking at it, I'm going to take per the sharpshooter, I'm going to take the -5 penalty to attack. And actions. Let's go. And I'm going to 1.
Hits.
So 2.
Hits.
And I'm going to bonus it. Oh, wait. No, wait. That's not a bonus action.
Zephyr Strike is a bonus action.
Yeah, but the War Priest allows me to, when I use the attack action, I can throw one more attack in there.
Wait,
I'll take your
as a
word for
bonus
it.
action, or is that just a regular attack?
It says when you use the attack action, you can make one weapon attack. Yeah.
Wait, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action.
But it's got a
No.
limited use.
So it's got a limited use. I can only do it a certain amount of times per.
But it says
round.
as a bonus action if you read the.
Oh, does it say that?
Yeah. So next
Oh,
turn you can
yeah.
use it, but this turn you
Yeah,
cannot.
okay, fair enough. So then, so both of those will hit, and both of those will add an extra 10 damage to each.
Where's that extra 10 damage come from? That's the
sharpshooter.
okay. Where's
Did
the?
you take it with a -5?
I took it with a -5 attack, so it's technically a
Declare that?
24 and an 18 to hit.
Okay, yeah, those still both hit. What about your extra 1d8 for Zephyr Strike?
I'm gonna hold off on that one because it says I have that spell as a concentration for 1 minute, and I can take advantage on that one, and I will let you know when I want to take an advantage attack if I choose. So.
Okie dokie. So 16 points of piercing damage as these 2 arrows from your longbow just and stick into the
+10. That's an extra +20 damage.
Okay. So
36.
minus 36.
You might want to type in when you're using your sharpshooter so that we know to subtract 5 from your attacks.
He said
Well,
it. I'll, we
I
should.
did declare it at the beginning.
He did declare it beforehand.
Okay.
Okay. Do you do anything else? Like you were shouting at the bird, still trying to let it know that this is like dangerous, and you're shooting away.
Yeah. Fuck. Bonus action. I'm gonna just hang out right over here by the tree. There you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw myself up against the trunk of the tree, and just kind of wait out a second.
Alrighty. Yeah, as it's getting really close down, it starts to unfurl its wings to slow itself, going into that swoop motion as it's getting down. You can see its claws outstretched as if to reach out and grab its prey, trying to flap to fend off the dragon that's attacking it. You lose 2 arrows, just one shooting right into the breast of the bird, and the other one kind of shooting through its wings, and you can see it tearing, blood splattering out the back, and additional feathers just falling much slower than the bird is rapidly approaching. Now, Temperance, it is your turn from underneath of the tree.
Yes, so I'm going to take this opportunity to cast Scorching Ray.
Okay.
And because I'm casting it at a 5th level, that's going to be 6 rays going at the bird.
Nasty.
So, give me a sec.
Bird.
This is gonna be where the cartoon happens and like fire hits and it just turns into like a roast turkey that falls to the ground.
Pretty much.
Okay, so anything over well, I'm not gonna tell you what it's over.
The lowest is a 15.
Okay, so they all hit. So you have 7, 18, 25, 34, 42, 47. Did I do that right?
We'll
All
take
right,
your
guys,
word
it's
for
not a
it.
contest, okay? DJ did more damage than my dragon. Rhea did more damage than TJ.
Yeah, 47.
Settle down. Hot
And
hands.
as you're looking at this rock and just rapid fire, these scorching rays coming out from your hand, this bird is looking less like a rock and more like a phoenix as its wings now on fire. It's the back just kind of, you see the flames just rippling off as it's caught hold onto the bird, but it is screeching loudly in pain as in one turn you have dealt a sizable chunk of its fortitude, but it is still coming.
Jesus.
Does your dragon, I imagine, get attacks of opportunities, or is it basically like a spiritual weapon type of deal where it would not?
I think that's going to be your call. I don't think it specifies. I mean,
Looks like
do
it's still
most
in range
summons...
anyways.
I mean, yeah, it's so it's 60 feet below it now. Like it's right on top of you guys. So it would have been like as it left. So it's no longer in range of the dragon. Yeah, I'll give it a claw attack. You can go ahead and make a claw attack. That one.
All right. Oh, right. Okay. What I get? 18 hits, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's 10 plus 5, right? So it's 15 total?
15.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, Honora, how are you? Are you like currently standing on Krima's shoulders? Are you sitting on them? Like, how are you?
I would be. I bet they're big enough that I could stand comfortably on them.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of like trying to block her with as much as my shield as I can. So.
Okay.
Her face, maybe. I'm trying to protect her face because I can't protect all of her.
It is coming in, and the first thing that it's going to do is going to make a beak attack at you with disadvantage. Okay. 28.
Whoa.
Okay.
So dealing 23 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
As it's coming down, and it like it's having a difficult time distinguishing the difference between you and this large ogre beast, and it just pecks out at the first thing that it sees, disoriented, and it happens to stab, and you just feel this massive searing pain as the sheer force of the beak piercing through your shield, causing it to push to the side, and then it is going
shield
to...
wouldn't save me from that. Fuck.
It is going to make its talon attack down kind of at the belly of Krima, stabbing forward with the beak. Now the talons are coming in. Still going to have it as a disadvantage.
I'm gonna, sentinel and attack the bird.
Okay. 19 hits.
So 7.
Okay, and it can no longer move, correct? Like
Correct.
It stops its movement.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me 1 second as I...
Wouldn't your held action go off right now too, Honora?
I didn't have a held action.
Also,
Oh,
Anderson held the
had
action.
one.
Yeah, so yours would also go off. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, like it's got a massive wingspan. Like it's I think gargantuan. Or giant,
right.
one of the two. I can't remember what it is. Okay, 26 hits for 12 points. Minus 12, minus 7. And what did I need to subtract Krima's health. It was 28 points of slashing damage. Yeah, as Honora, give me a dexterity saving throw.
7.
Okay. You're not going to take any damage from this, but as it pecks you with its beak, and now its talons digging into Krima, and you slash it one time, causing it, Sentinel to go off. It basically clipped it just enough to where its wing wasn't able to take back off, and it comes crashing to the ground, plowing both you and Krima into the ground. Its talons are still dug in, so it is still grappled, but it is now grounded for that time. So I will take away the flying, and I will say, with that failed dexterity save, we'll say you're now prone with Krima as well. And it is now her turn.
Please run, please run, please run.
She's grappled right now.
Yeah, but she can use an action.
She can to make a DC 19.
Athletics, strength check.
Athletics, yeah.
Or dexterity. I don't know how dexy she is.
Yeah, definitely not.
She's not a ballerina.
All right, yeah, she'll use her action trying to break free.
Oh God.
Fails. This
Epically.
It has the talons really dug in deep, and as she's trying to pull them out and break free, she just cannot. The wind knocked out from underneath of her. You can hear the "Ooh!" as she hits the ground, and you kind of go tumbling next to her. But Anderson, seeing all this, it is now your turn.
Okay. A few questions. First up,
yes.
How is this thing
It's fine.
It is still smoldering from the flames that are kind of rolling off of its back as it's now plowed into the snow. Some of them have kind of diffused, but it is looking hurt. Like it has a couple arrows littered in it. Blood kind of streaming down its side from the dragon attacks, the claw attacks up in the sky. It's looking pretty hurt.
Okay.
But it could still fly off if you let it.
Yeah. And so I get, would I get the impression that it's trying to just grab Milka and leave? Is that
it's trying to grab Krima and take her away to the nest.
Eternal wife. Yes, Krima, thank you.
Cream, milk.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, did you just call her Milka?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Half and
So
half.
I don't want it to take off.
Yeah.
Can I?
He's so attached, he's come up with nicknames.
Oh, that's just my Milka.
I'm gonna try to climb up on this thing. Can I do like a grappling check to climb up on it?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, what are you trying to do? Like when you climb up on it, are you trying to just hold on to it and go wherever it takes you?
Yeah, basically, if it takes Krima and leaves, I want to be on top of it so that I can take it down if it takes off.
Okay. Yeah. You can make. I'll say because it's kind of like prone a little bit right now, coming down from the crash. I'll say that you have advantage on the check.
Oh, this is my workable form anyway.
Oh,
got to beat a 24.
Sure, let's see if I can do that.
Come on, baby. Oh my God.
No, as you're trying, you see its wing kind of collapse down on the cart next to you as it's kind of, and you try to hop up on it, and immediately it just kind of flicks its wing enough to where you don't have a firm grasp on it. It's not going to be possible.
All right. Then just as a bonus action, I want to roast this bird even more, so I'll just put flames on my claws.
Okay.
And I'll take 4 damage from that. And yeah, that's what I'll do.
Alrighty. Radovan, it is now your turn. You are kind of tucked up against the wall, and as you see this bird just snow flying everywhere, you get a front row view of this mauling.
Now, if I were to cast a ranged spell, this thing is close enough that I would have disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay.
Yep.
I am a druid, and I am supposed to care for the animals of the realm. Like this kind of makes me feel.
Cycle of
Do you
life,
have sleep?
It is.
You put it to sleep. We'll stop hitting it when it stops hitting us.
Right.
He's gonna be able to.
Yeah, I don't know.
The whole monster.
I think he will. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. Even though it's at disadvantage and it's a long shot, but
Hold monster isn't a ranged attack spell. It should be a saves DC.
No, I know. I was also thinking, I could just guiding bolt it. Radovan's got to shoot one guiding bolt off at least a session.
So, which one are you going to do?
Session's not over yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to charm monster.
Okay, what is it? Is it a charisma save or a wisdom save?
It is a wisdom save.
What do I got to beat?
A 16, and you have advantage. So good luck.
I have advantage because we're hostile. It's hostile with you right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
14.
Oh,
It fails.
Wait. Oh.
It fails. So, yeah, that was. How do you want to? So it's now charmed. Is there something you want to say to it, like during this 6 seconds of free action?
Or to us, so that we stop hitting it?
I think I'll rush forward and I'll say, wait! And I'll like grab onto like its giant talon with one puny elf hand and kind of like push up against its leg, and cast the spell as like the blood is coming out of the talon like over my arm from Grima's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll yell to everybody else, stop!
What
Calm
was
yourself.
once a chaotic mess of this bird just swooping down with violence. In that moment when its wing flaps up, shoving off Anderson from being able to grapple, Radovan comes in with Charm Monster, calms the beast enough to where Honora, even from the ground, you can see the talons release just enough from Krima to where they're no longer punctured.
Hold your attacks.
And as you can see in its eye, pain, still on fire. You can hear the screeching, the cawing from its. You can tell that it's in a severe emotional distress from this entire situation. Krima kind of gets up and holding her stomach.
Krima, you need to back up. You need to back away from it. And I'll kind of try to push her a little bit back. Her shin.
Yeah, she kind of crawling across the ground, scooting backwards, still on her butt, her ass just kind of dragging in the snow as she's pushing away from it. But you can see 5 or 6 talon marks just dug right into her stomach, just pouring blood as she's kind of holding herself.
And I'll stand between Krima and the bird, defensive.
I will come from the tree and it's kind of in its language, when was your last hunt?
Looking over into you, towards you, you get the feeling that it's been several weeks.
It hasn't eaten in quite some time.
Yes, that is apparent to me.
There's meat in the cart.
Friend.
Yeah, there's still
Just
some
give
left.
some to it.
How much?
Well, I mean, we need some for us too. A couple days away from a town.
If we rest, I think I could prepare something.
Okay.
I'll squawk at it and be like, "We have food for you."
You said if you could rest. You did. I didn't touch your character sheet, but you did gain the benefit.
I mean,
of
I wouldn't
rest.
have changed my spells based on last time. Especially we do have food. I don't need to prepare that spell.
Oh, okay, all right. So that's why you needed the rest. You were gonna prepare.
Yeah, for
gotcha.
yeah, he's one of those casters.
Nope, I gotcha. Are you?
How much is in the cart?
Probably about $50.
Yeah, there's
barrels.
a massive barrel of meats that look to be, reindeer from the mountain that the barbarians had gathered and stored to, whether they were going to salt it or whether or not they were going to cook it. It's an entire barrel where just entire quarters of hind legs are just shoved into this barrel.
I do believe that Krima was planning to take that back to her family, though.
That is correct.
Well, better we get Krima back alive than We'll
Well,
figure
can't you
something
shoo
else
the
out.
bird away? We don't need to feed this animal. You seem to have some sort of control over it. Can't you just tell it to leave?
How long does charm last?
Then what?
Actually, you can mention the bandit camp.
I begin to immediately squawk about prey further up the mountain. That will give a far less of a fight than us.
Seems receptive.
But
it's
it's
still-
struggled enough.
Right, but so is Krima and her family. And they've helped us. This thing's only attacked us. Sometimes we have to make the tough choices, Radovan. And I think Krima deserves this meat more, and plus she needs to be seen her wounds.
We'll attend to them. We don't have to favor one over the other. We can
Right,
make
but
this right.
Right, you're offering to give Krima's food to the bird.
I'll provide for them.
For Krima and her family.
Yes.
For weeks?
If that's what you would like.
No, Radovan, we cannot spare you for weeks.
Are you still like actively giving the rock orders, or if it like tries to, after its claws have come out and it's now perched on its own 2 feet and kind of free to move about, are you controlling it to make it stay? Are you allowing it to move about freely? Also, what are you doing with your dragon? Have you dismissed that, or are you keeping that around? Do you have it perched like a gargoyle
I think
on
I
top
have
of the garden?
to. Oh, this isn't concentration. Oh my god.
And it's good for
Forgot
one. It's
about that.
concentration up to 1 hour actually, for the dragon.
For the dragon, but the charm monster is not.
Okay.
So, I mean, technically, I've got a rock and a dragon. We could, it's just like Pokemon now. No,
Send him after Strahd.
What's the worst that can happen?
The rock gets eaten at the wedding feast.
I will still implore to the rock that there is prey further up the mountain.
As you do so, it kind of, hops around to make itself more, able to communicate freely with you. You see its head kind of jutting in, its arms flapping out as it's getting closer, familiar with you in your speaking, trying to see how it is that you, looking so different, can possibly speak the same language, that it can understand you.
I'm gonna get real defensive if it starts moving at all. So even though it's not being aggressive, I'm still gonna be like really on edge.
Yeah, you can see it picking one talon up at a time and kind of moving closer, like stretching its neck out and just, very weak. I can't fly back up there. Last attempt. Young will starve.
Oh.
Just tell it to go away so we can be on our way.
It has children.
Okay?
It's trying to feed its children.
By eating Krima.
And as it kind of
the way of things
comes a little closer to you, you see it just jut its head just into the ground, and as it plunges into the snow, it pulls out a rabbit, and you can see the blood kind of dripping down its beak as it just kind of shoots its neck up and swallowing it.
I mean, if anything, it's Krima's decision, not ours. It's her food. And she's the one who's bleeding out over there.
And she's holding her stomach and...
I'm going up to Krima, and I'm going to... She allows me to gently touch her.
She seems hesitant at first. You weren't there when she was saved. She doesn't know you. You're an outsider.
Please, I just want to help.
Being severely injured, she allows it, cautiously, watching your every move.
Oh god, come on.
And as you're...
There you go. I touch her, and I cure wounds.
Doesn't take her all the way back to full, but you can see the kind of the coagulation and the scabbing process starting to expedite as the wounds. You can still tell that there's some internal damage, but you can definitely tell that the bleeding has stopped. She's gonna survive, although she'll probably be sore.
Bird has young, and it can't make its way up the mountain. It needs something.
But I have young. I'm supposed to be the provider. I've got young Agvir at home. I left a month ago, supposed to bring back food. I don't know how.
I saved you. You can spare something.
We all saved her. I think this is her decision, not yours, Radovan.
We'll hunt on the way back to your home. We will try to get you what you need, what you give up.
That's a maybe. This is a guarantee.
How would you feel
It's an animal.
if you couldn't
Krima's
make
a person.
it to feed your children?
I say we kill the rock and we take it for food.
Bird is just hungry.
So, we're hungry too. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Everyone fight for themselves.
You're an animal.
Yes. Are you gonna eat me?
We
Is that what you're proposing?
intervened.
We have rational thoughts. This bird does not.
The bird does have rational thoughts.
Are you saying that every dog and every cow and every pig and every deer that you come across, are you... I know that Anderson doesn't eat meat. Are you the same?
Eat what's put in front of me.
So why is this rock, why is this bird, why is this giant chicken
Because
more
this
important?
bird is not our enemy.
It attacked us. It's 100% our enemy.
Because it was hungry.
So?
If
Vampires attack us because they're hungry. We still slaughter them.
The vampires are acting under the order of one.
Not always.
This bird just acting out of
You guys are all being
survival.
stupid. You're gonna put Krima's family at risk over a damn bird, and I'm gonna storm off. Panton style.
It's not worth you fighting over. I've been gone for a month. I'm sure Nessig has found a way to survive without me. Well, you saw him. Some of you did, at least, I think you said. Was he okay without me? I guess, looking around, Anderson's the only one that would know out of the group of you now that Honora stormed off.
Well, he seemed to be surviving.
Did he look thin? Did he look well fed? Was Agvir happy?
I mean, thinking back, I know he did mention that he was waiting for his wife to come back with food, but did he look particularly starving?
No.
Okay. Look, he looked fine. I think he may have been waiting on some food, but he didn't look that hungry. And your child also. He looked fine as well, last I saw.
Selfishly, I just wanted the food and grains and spices and things for the punishment that they did to me. But I'm mostly happy that I can just live to be able to go home and see my husband and son.
I mean, we don't have to give the bird all your food. Maybe just a little bit, enough for it to get on out of here, feed its children. and then you can have whatever's left.
Anderson and Honora, make a history check. Panton would definitely know.
Womp womp.
I mean, Ira would know.
Ira would know as well.
Ira was best friends with that giant.
If you remember, and not that there's any correlation, or has to be.
But didn't they like get shoved away from their home? They're not even at their house anymore.
I mean, I know there was the fire.
There was the fire. They seem to have it relatively under control, or they told you, "Go on, we'll be fine." But when you stayed the night inside of their cave,
they had a rock
inside of the cage that was built into the ground, just a large, like cage over top of the floor. There was a large rock in it.
Is this the one and same? I don't know.
You let that thing out, didn't you?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought Panton might have.
I mean, this thing doesn't look familiar, does it? Or
we ate its eggs, though.
Or they're just natural enemies, giants and rocks.
Or that.
It's
And paper.
It's hard to tell. Jeez Louise. It's really hard to tell. With this being, weeks ago that this happened, and with it not being super,
At this point,
realistically,
months ago.
I don't. Yeah, at this point, months ago, because of the lantern, I don't know whether or not any of you actually even saw it. I think it was just Panton or Ira reporting back about them having it, or even if they.
Yeah, so it definitely wouldn't be in the forefront of the memory.
I remember it on the map, but I don't think Anderson gave it much thought.
Yeah.
Right. Could be why Honora mentioned that rocks, we could kill it and eat it for food. Maybe subconsciously she remembered that she heard something about that, but she's too heated right now.
Remembered having the rock eggs. That's kind of a something to.
Again, so much has happened since then. It's probably not in anybody's forefront.
But just food for thought. That did
rock
exist.
Eggs.
That was a thing. But
Should be up to
Krima.
Krima. We're gonna bully her into giving up her food.
I can spare some food. I don't like to see anything suffer, especially animals. If I'm going to kill one, I kill it swiftly and I eat it and use all of its remains for something or other. Don't let any of it go to waste. This bird doesn't deserve to suffer. And she kind of walks over to the caravan and rips off the wooden lid, and you can immediately see the bird as it was kind of hovering over you, its beak, mere a couple feet away from your own face, Ramiz, as it just turns its long neck, craning around and peering inside and kind of looking at Krima, and Krima gives it a nod and a gentle, "Go on, you can have some." And it pecks in and grabs an entire leg and kind of tosses it onto the ground and begins pecking at some of the meat from it.
Now, is this meat salted? Like, is it preserved?
This looks like a relatively fresh catch. That because of the sheer temperatures that high up into the mountain,
It's frozen.
that it was borderline frozen. Now that you've gotten down to where it's primarily snow, right? It's thawed a little, but you can see as she's ripping it. Not she, but as the rock is ripping it apart. I guess it would be either way, as the rock is ripping it apart, it is not coming apart like a stringed meat. It is coming out in like chunks, almost as if like the inside is still not fully thawed. But as it pecks and it sees that the meat is good, it kind of turns its neck between both Radovan and Ramiz, as if to
eat.
And these healing spirits, 3 of them are going to be for the rock, and 4 of them are going to be for the rock, and 2 will be for Grima, and it'll kind of like shift back and forth between the 2 of them.
Okay. So
is this gate over here on the other side open or closed?
oh, you wandered off on through that.
She totally did.
We're not there yet. We're gonna have to backtrack a little bit.
1, 2,
Okay.
3.
I kept walking. Yeah, I didn't stop.
Yeah, I know.
Validate there, buddy.
So how much will you tell me how much health is towards the rock? Is it, you said
Yeah.
2 of them or 3 of them were towards the rock?
4
4.
were rock.
1, 2, 3. So 24, 32 healing for the rock, and 19 for Grima.
Okay, Krima is back to full. The rock, as Ramiz is communicating with it and it's expressing its thanks, you're getting underneath of the feathers and touching the wounds and gently removing the arrows from its breast and kind of healing the wounds. It expresses its gratitude, and as long as you allow it, it will then take this massive haunch of meat and attempt to fly away.
Before it does, I'll point up to the mountainside where I initially saw it, or where I think I initially saw this particular one. Your nest, your home.
I will tell Ramiz to also inform it of goats in the swamp that we found when we fought Babala Saga.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, there were those.
There were also the goats in the barbarian camp as well, I think.
Yeah, but
but
they're
There too.
harsh flying conditions, you know.
As you look back and ask about its home, kind of the cloudy nature of the snow overcast was really preventing being able to see, but as this battle went on, looking back in the direction of where its head turns to, you can barely make out on this cliff edge this massive bramble, this nest of these massive twigs, almost branch-sized pieces of wood that are encompassing this entire cliff ledge. And she nods.
Then I will tell her goats and swampland. Goats up the mountain.
My young will thank you.
Take care.
And then
Safe.
the snow just flutters out from the path. As you can see, this stone pathway that was leading up the Tsolenka Pass becomes more clear, and the rock you can see still not flying as gracefully as once probably it did.
Oh, once you tear off about half of its feathers with some fire, yeah, I'd understand.
Alrighty.
I'll look around. Where's your little friend at? Where's Lenora?
She walked off that way.
Honora, as you're walking across, and you can hear the continued screeching back and forth between Ramiz and the massive rock, and the arguing getting louder about the meat. You make it to the middle of the bridge, and as you were stumbling out, you could see rubble and debris kind of scattered across the middle of it, and even sections of this bridge seem to be in extreme disrepair. The rails or side portions ripped away on both sides in certain spots, and massive chunks of it falling to a massive ravine below.
Probably kick a rock or two off the edge in frustration and anger.
Probably about another 80 or 90 feet down to the ground. Like, this is a massive drop. Kicking the rubble, kind of skirts off to the edge and falls. And as you see how massive and deep this drop is, watching it plunk into the water, and you can see that this river is moving relatively rapidly through this portion of the mountain pass. Continuing on, and you can see once you get about halfway across that the bridge on the other side, a large armor-clad statue on both sides of the guard shacks. One of them kind of handicapped at the knees, at the top half of the stonework kind of falling over, barely hanging on to its raised dais. The rest of it just kind of toppled over onto the gate itself. But the gate on this side is open.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of keep going. I'm assuming they'll catch up with me because I am short and slow.
Okay.
But
Alrighty. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm probably just packing back up, preparing to cross the bridge.
Yeah, for the most part, nothing was truly lost. The wagon is still in fine shape. Krima just picking up the lid and...
Oh, Honora has an open gash in her shoulder right now, too.
Yeah, it was quite a bit of damage. Just kind of bleeding, trickling down. You can feel the warmth underneath of your armor as the blood is kind of running down your chest. And once it gets further away from the wound, you can kind of feel it getting cold and freezing. Krima says, "I think that was the right decision." Walking over to you, Radovan. "Thank you for healing my wounds. I appreciate it. And I feel much better."
Good. I'm glad you're all right. I hope you know if it came down to it, I would have put it down for you. But when the opportunity arose that things could be made good, I find that is a rare gift in this place.
She kind of nods and looks over towards Ramiz. "You too, stranger. You healed me, and you've gained an ounce of my trust, and I am grateful."
Well, I'm grateful for that as well. Living should be trusted at least a little bit. That creature was merely trying to survive like you are, like everyone else here is. And well, I think we did the right thing by sparing it.
All right.
Where did your friend go?
I think it's time we follow her to cross the bridge.
I think it's time for a potty
Great.
I don't know. Shit goes bad when we get back from a potty break.
Yep. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, not
Burned
sorry.
up with the magic carpet.
And how will Anderson cast Fireball now?
A big true. Like, sometimes you just don't understand, like, the full power. Like that.
Do you use it?
Yes. Like, that was part of the module. But I don't think it was intended to have me roll for how many gems were left in that Helm of Brilliance before it was given to you. I think it was just meant to have certain, like, maybe fucking only a couple gems each. And
yeah, there was a lot of shit in there still.
Yeah, there was a lot. But anyways,
and Penn was gonna go nuts.
Notice all the fire spells that were getting directed towards Panton with the helm, because if it takes fire damage from a saving throw type ability like a fireball, the helm has to make a save or fucking explode.
It blows up.
Anyways,
Oh shit.
you guys are packaging up the rest of the caravan or the wagon.
Wait, don't we still have those spell rods too? So we could have just like made a big bomb with the spell rods and the helmet and just fire damage and just
a spell rod.
We're creating a nuke bomb.
Are you talking about like the magical ingots? That you found?
Oh yeah, I still have the magic ingots. What are they called?
just clanking around in her bag. No bomb suit on or anything.
Let me see.
Let's just call them grenades.
I know I gave them a very specific name.
I think it's when my headphones were dying a lot because I didn't have my new headphones.
Hey. I was wondering why you sounded different today.
Residuum.
That and she's sick.
Yeah, they were.
I'm not sick. That's the dumb part. Is I was sick last week, and then I blew my voice out over the weekend. So now I sound like I'm dying.
I still have a cough from Thanksgiving.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All y'all constitution modifiers suck.
I know.
Dude, no kidding.
You just need to drink more whiskey, like DJ over there. Anyways.
Cheers.
What do you think's in my tea?
Oh. Yeah, pee. So you're packing up, and Krima now, you can see just kind of scars in the places where she was mauled by the rock. Now has the wagon. And how are you proceeding? Are you all walking on foot in front of the wagon? Are you hopping back on the wagon? You can see now the pathway is much more clear. You're not traipsing through feet of snow at this point.
Mies would probably pop on top of the cart if he is permitted.
Anderson will be off. Yeah. He'll be on foot in front of the cart to make sure the bridge is like stable enough to hold it.
Likewise, it looks pretty crumbly. Looks like some stuff
crumbly.
could get caught on the wheels and the like.
Okay.
Yeah, Temperance is definitely walking in front of the cart. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. Walking across first, noticing the same thing, that the walls and the kind of even the floor in some places have crumbled away. Now looking through the floor over the rails, you see the close to 100-foot drop to the rushing waters below. What do? Are you trying to clean it up? Like, you see a lot of debris, rubble from the stone that had collapsed, that's still just kind of littered across the ground.
Just testing stability, I think, is what Anderson's most concerned about.
How do you intend to test stability?
Just as I'm walking across, noticing any like loose rocks, seeing if anything looks like it's about to just give way underneath like our weight.
Okay.
See him poking around with his foot or anything. Say, be mindful of the bigger rocks that look more stable. You might be tricked by a few of those, and with that, I will cast guidance.
So
I had to hop off. All right, I'll hop off and touch him.
Okay. This is going to be an investigation check. Like, you can actively perceive that this is not in the best of repair. But in order to tell its structural stability, unless you have something else you would rather use, this is going to be peeking into, the just the framing of the bridge to see whether or not it looks like it can hold your weight.
Yeah. So with the guidance, that's a 17.
Okay. Kind of looking, you can see several long cracks stretching from one end of the disrepaired side wall to the other, where it's kind of chunked away into the center of the bridge. You can see several long, deep cracks that are in between them. Kind of stepping back and looking at it, you can even see that the bridge itself has a slight slope peering over the edge. You don't see any sort of underneath support, no structural braces that are extending out to the middle to give it that that extra bracing. You're not proficient with any type of architecture or stonemason or anything like that to know the weight capacity, but you know this bridge is not very stable. That's the best you can determine.
Sin will just yell back, "Careful over here. Looks like there are a bunch of deep cracks in the stone. Don't know if the cart will make it."
Even, I guess, with your investigation, looking back and seeing how wide the cart is compared to how wide the walkway is, you even see that it might have difficulties being too wide, where two of the wagon wheels would not be able to be far enough over to not make it through that first big chunk out of the bridge.
Gross.
You'll see Radovan fingering some of the rock feathers and looking kind of thoughtful about the situation as Anderson relays that information. And he'll offer, well, I could turn into a giant eagle and maybe try to lift it somewhat. We should have asked our friend before.
Lift the wagon or lift the bridge?
The wagon.
The wagon.
Okay.
Be pretty Herculean if you could lift the bridge.
He's gonna bring us to Mordor.
Yeah, it's not like I'm a rock or anything.
So I'm gonna say that if you were trying to lift something, you could probably use your talons to grab a hold of the openings in the skull to transport that. But it would be extremely awkward unless they fashioned some sort of harness to be able to pick up the wagon. And even then, with the goods and it not being full, it would be even harder to stabilize the things that are inside of it.
So the main things are the barrels and the dragon head, right? That's kind of the main ticket items that we have.
That's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so could I take
and a couple
those bit by
furs.
bit?
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe we take out the barrels and just roll them carefully across the bridge.
Yeah, I don't think you would be able to find purchase on the barrels themselves.
I mean, how big is my giant eagle talon? I could probably grab a person, right? I think when we looked up giant eagle and what it could lift, it was 300 pounds.
It's not necessarily the pounds. It's where where you're gonna grab, where you're gonna grab a barrel. Are you gonna sink your talons into the wood and try to lift it up from the side? Because surely that could potentially, yeah. You're not gonna be able to pick it up and haul it. It's just gonna be really awkward. Same thing with picking up the cart. But you could definitely pick up the skull.
Yeah, the skull and the barrels as well. Just get everything else across so we have the important things good.
Yeah, for the skull, looking at it, you find the bridge between the eye sockets where the long snout of the dragon nose. You could grab and wrap your talon across that, and then find purchase on the back of the skull and kind of hoist it that way if you wanted to.
Oh, for the barrels, couldn't Krima just carry them? Like, directly?
That's absolutely a possibility. She has not truly been made aware of the full scope. This is just you guys theorizing of how you're going to figure this
Yeah.
out.
I almost don't want to add too much.
I
don't
like
know how heavy
temperance.
the barrels are, but if we add too much weight with
I'm
Krima,
thinking
that's
of the
Problem
goat,
solving. Yeah.
the chicken, and the wolf problem.
Right, and he's thinking of
Oh,
heavy thing in the middle of bridge make collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that too. And upon Remi's hearing all of this, he's gonna start making his way across the bridge.
Alrighty. I need to know. I think we discussed this before, but how much do each of you weigh?
Oh God, Remi's.
I already passed the bridge.
Yeah, you're already gone.
So Remi's is a little guy.
Oh, sure he is. Now he is.
250 pounds.
He is 5'2",
Okay.
so he is only 3 feet taller than Panton. However,
You just flip the numbers, right? From 5'2", 2'5", just.
Oh no, I put him down as literally 5 feet tall.
Okay.
So 5 feet and 120 pounds plus
Okay.
his inventory weighing.
He's
another
as
49
tall as a teenage girl.
Are you also 5 foot, Temperance?
Yeah, Temperance is 5 foot and 95 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like
have
a
to be
middle
like
I thought
super
Temperance
accurate.
was like
Yeah.
taller. It must
So
have
I
been
think
the hat.
Anderson,
It's
he's
always
like,
that.
so in his human form, he's in his werewolf form, but in his human form, he's 5'8", 160 pounds. But in werewolf form, I think that adds at least about 50 pounds. So,
Oh, the bone density changes or something like
well,
that.
he gets
muscle
like
mass.
taller and just bulkier, but
turns
yeah,
into a Chad.
I mean,
alright?
Honora
Yeah, I know, a lot of
trains
short
about
things in
130 pounds, and she weighs about 30 pounds, so just under 200 pounds total.
That's wild. You're carrying 130 pounds.
I'm very strong,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'm not encumbered at all.
So with all of this knowledge, how are you crossing the bridge?
I guess I will wild shape and carry the skull across, and also before I do that, speak in my
Normal voice.
in a person's voice that
Yeah.
I agree with the idea of like taking things over bit by bit to kind of manage the weight.
We're not gonna get Grima across, are we?
I'm really worried about Krima.
What do we do with the wagon? I can't carry the skull the rest of the way. I need the wheels. How are we gonna get the wagon across? Or the cart?
We can have
gonna have to try to pull it across once we get everything else. I do believe that the goods are more important than the wagon, so we should probably move the goods first, then try to move the wagon last. We're not gonna leave it here, Krima. We're gonna try to get it across the bridge. However, we can't carry everything across the bridge all at once.
Anderson, are you out in the middle of the bridge right now where your token is?
Yep.
Still just kind of investigating. As with a 17, as you look back during all of this and kind of assessing the situation, you've hunted some large beasts during your trials as a blood hunter. If you were to size Krima up, just based on pure, height, weight, probably about half a ton, maybe more. 1,100 pounds.
Some might say she's a little husky. Well,
how much?
Not
Well,
Nessie,
Anderson
though.
was like lifting the skull at some point by himself, right? So how much can
Yeah.
Anderson lift?
I think. So the skull added what, 300 pounds?
Yeah, I think it was like 250 or 300. It was somewhere around there.
If it was 250, and I was at like the absolute max carrying capacity at that point, that would put me at 365. 365 at if the skull was 250 pounds. So that's like the most he would be able to get.
What if we could double it? What if you had not only the strength of a wolf, but the strength of a bull?
What do you mean?
I could
You want
enhance
me
you.
to carry her across?
No, I'm familiar with the spell as well. It's something that I've dabbled with a little bit. He can enhance you, make you a bit more powerful. Where carrying that skull might have been a burden for you at one point, but would be trivial almost, dare I say.
If you want me to carry something across, if you want to carry something big across, remember, I don't know how stable the bridge is. So if I'm carrying something,
Well,
it might break.
I suggest that all of us that cannot get across a rather large gap get across first. So, is it Miss Temperance? Perhaps you should get across first, and perhaps while you're at it, find your friend yet. Fortunately, find your friend Honora, and make sure she is fine.
Wait, how about this? Maybe when it comes to bringing Krima across, maybe you could enhance me. We could, I don't know, tie a rope around her so if she falls, I would be able to hoist her up easily enough.
That would be wise.
Bold of you to call Honora my friend, but
Just go see if she's all right. We'll take care of things here.
fine. Kind of wobbles around, begrudgingly runs away to find Honora.
Your
Good
mates
luck.
seem a little hostile to each other.
It's been a long few months.
Well, if there's anything that I can help with, if you need to talk, well, I guess I can ply my old trade and listen a little bit.
If you want to help, let's just get across the bridge.
I'm going to get across the bridge first, because unfortunately, in matters of strength and muscle, I am not equipped for that. So, I hope that we get across easy enough, but I wish you the best of luck.
That is saying one bridge at a time, right?
I do believe so. Best of luck, Anderson. And know that I'll be rooting for you. Grima.
Yes.
You're in good hands with Anderson. Trust him.
Okay. What should I trust him with?
Just listen to him. He will not lead you wrong. He's, I feel, led everybody else here quite some time.
And as you're talking, she's starting to walk out towards the bridge.
Hold.
Still very much on the part that is supported by the cliff itself.
Just let Anderson tell you when it is good to cross.
Oh, okay. Is there something wrong with... And as she's kind of looking out and seeing...
He's just making sure that everything will be fine. The bridge it looks like it's seen better days. So, he's just making sure that we have a clear path and that you can get across safely. Some railings out and little pockmarks in the bridgeway, so wouldn't want anybody tripping unnecessarily and having an accident. So, I'll let you know.
We didn't use this way to come across the first time. I know of it. I've used it in the past to come up here hunting in the mountains, but it was never in this bad of shape.
There's another path, you're saying?
Yes, but it would be a half day's travel back, partially the way we came. I couldn't ask you to go that way, but if it's not going to be safe, I feel that I'm out of harm's way enough.
No. Hold that thought. Anderson. Oh, God. Honora, Temperance. Oh.
Hold all of your thoughts for a moment. Honora, as you're walking further away from the bridge, rounding the bend, still barely aware of the wound, just your mind racing, thinking about all of the events that have just unfolded in the past 24 hours. You get a rising of anger. You feel overwhelming frustration. And as you're kind of looking down, having been kicking rocks and small piles of snow that are off to the side, loosing your frustration, you look up, and on an outcropping of rock perched up about 10 feet in this still winding mountain pass, you see kind of among some trees, some foliage, the face, the upper half of a large white wolf. As you're looking at it, red eyes are kind of staring at you from, I don't want to say the shadows. It's making its presence known, but it is still kind of lurking.
You tell your master, we're coming for him. It's gonna be justice. Scream at the wolf.
It snarls.
Yeah, you want a piece of this?
And then kind of leaps down about 5 foot to the next set of a rocky outcropping and jets back away, deeper into the pass, or I guess further away from where you're at now.
Scream at it, coward. At this point, I think I'll realize that I've been walking for probably quite a while. Oh, where are they? They're right behind me. And I'll turn around and start to walk back.
Okay. Short little segue. The rest of you still on the bridge. Temperance had cleared across.
I would imagine that I'm probably walking for like a good half an hour while they're fussing with the bridge, so I made it quite a ways.
Temperance, would you continue walking down the path in search of Honora, or are you just kind of like how are you feeling about it? Yeah, are you just loitering or outside of sight?
I think the Temperance will maybe not hurriedly look for Honora, but definitely like continue walking to see if she sees her. Like, these guys don't think I'm of any use, so I guess I will go do the thing that they asked. Fine.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna do it quickly.
Yeah, a few moments of you plodding through the snow, kind of wind sweeping it across your feet as the stone path beneath your footfalls is still relatively clear. You still haven't found her yet. Radovan, you're able to easily take the skull across. What are you doing continuing in your eagle form?
So before I do that, I'm going to cast, even though like I don't feel like we discussed it enough to kind of figure out exactly how this was going to work, but hopefully they can make use of this in some way. Bull's strength.
Honora, what are you doing over there?
I'm opening a package. It's my Christmas present to myself.
Oh my gosh.
It just arrived.
That's very nice.
I thought that was my ASMR video in the background.
Yeah, would you do me a really sweet favor? And yeah, thank you. So you did something about bull strength?
Yeah, bull strength on Anderson.
Okay, so he just gets temp HP, or does it do something to his strength?
No, he has advantage on strength checks,
Okay.
and his carrying capacity doubles.
Oh, shiz. Okay, cool.
So I think what we're thinking of doing is so Radovan, he takes all the stuff over, like the barrels and the skulls, kind of one by one in his form, and then afterwards, everyone minus Krima and Anderson go across. Anderson will like tie a rope around Krima and have her just kind of, he'll stay back but have her go forward, and if
How
she
much
falls,
rope you got?
I have 60 feet of rope.
Well, let me just say that this bridge from one end to the other is like 80 feet.
Right, but the damaged parts look less than 80 feet.
That is true. Okay,
I only want to get her across the parts that look kind of sus.
Okay, yeah. I would say you got 60 feet of rope. What's the circumference of a hill giant? Let's see. How tight are you tying this to like cinch in the fat?
Enough to where I'm confident that she would not slip through if she fell.
Okay, yeah, pretty tight then. You can see as you're tying it, she kind of grimaces a little bit, but understands the necessity. Okay, yeah. The rest of you, I guess. Remise, are you on the other side? Like all the other goods are. You muted yourself.
I will make my way across. Yes.
Okay. What are you doing once you get over there? Are you watching the spectacle or?
Oh God. Seeing how we let the squishy person and the injured person wander off by themselves, I will probably head off in that direction as well and look for them.
Okay. Alrighty. Did we decide what we were doing with the wagon? How you were getting that across?
I think once Krima is across, Anderson might. I could just try to like finagle it through the bridge. I mean, I'm sure.
Well, you got bull strength now, so you should be able to heft that thing over your head.
True, and you want Krima's 500. Wait, how much is how
1,100 pounds. Oh, the wagon.
Yeah.
Maybe 200 or 300 pounds, I think.
Because I think if the Krima can make it across, I assume if I carry the wagon, that would be about a similar weight to Krima if it's light enough.
Oh, it should be light.
No, Krima's probably heavier than you and the wagon.
Probably. I just want to see the DM's interpretation on this.
I'm gonna say approximate weight is 150 pounds.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, so I can carry that thing. If Krima can get across, I can easily just carry that across, no problem.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. So my understanding of this situation is you are going to position yourself at the edge of where you feel that the bridge is safe, and you are going to urge Krima to cross from that point.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to fly around and unintentionally make Krima really nervous after their recent dramatic encounter with a bird.
Doing some swooping.
Swooping down with encouragement and encouraging, like, you know. What are those jet flyers? Those fancy jet flyer people called, like the Blue Angels or something?
Yeah, Blue Angels.
Cliffhanger vibes right now. So.
Okay.
Like literally though.
All right, standing at the edge, you see Krima on the other end as she's scooting out, getting closer and closer to some of the debris that's out there, and you can see that she's no longer picking up her feet to make the steps. It's more of a shuffle, just constantly scooting her massive, heavy feet across the ground. They're not bare feet; they are wrapped in like a leather and like a leather boot with some fur. Sorry, old.
Close matter.
Yeah, no, 2000s high school of me just remembered some lyrics that fit with that. Anyways, Yeah. So as she's scooting, and you can see that she's kicking these rocks forward, and as she's getting close to the portion that looks vulnerable, she peers off the edge, and you can see she is scared. Stepping.
Crema, just look.
I can just go the other way. It'll be a half day, and I'll no time lost. Really, I don't know about this. This is such a far fall.
Just don't look down. Just look right at me.
She grabs a hold of the western side of the bridge, and with her hand, and she closes her eyes and starts to scuffle forward.
Crema, tell me, what's the first thing you're gonna do with your husband and child when you get back to see them? Trying to just calm her down, man.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Hey, not bad, buddy.
Okay. We
Yeah.
good.
So you can see it, and as she's getting further across, kind of, you can see she opens up her eye, and just as she starts to like back again, you ask her, and it's kind of reinvigorating that memory in her, what she's wanting to get across this bridge for. I want to hold my son, give Nessig a big hug, and tell him thanks for sending you to find me. And she continues to take those steps across, and you can feel this massive stone bridge it's bouncing a little bit with each shuffle. As she's getting closer, the massive weight, 1,100 pounds. Another shuffle. A massive chunk of the rock next to the larger of the bridge outcroppings crumbles and falls, and she sees it, and she panics, and she starts running. Like immediately the fight or flight takes over, and she takes one giant stride, and just the rock falling out from underneath of her. Slipping, falling, her stomach and her upper body hanging on to the edge of the bridge, the back portion of it, the entire center just falling, 100 feet to the ground. You can hear the splattering of the massive chunks of stone, and she's holding on. You have this rope tied, and you're holding on to it, and she's just looking at you, and she's trying to pull herself up, very Lion King-esque.
Does she have, is there anything I can grab onto to try to,
pull her up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
she
than
has...
digging my talons into her flesh like the rock.
I mean, this isn't a situation where you're going to have the time to be delicate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a beast that has talons. If you're going to try to grab onto whatever cloth that she has kind of around her torso, or even try the rope, it's just the sacrifice that you're going to have to take, knowing that you're going to grab some flesh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling with all my might to try to bring her up.
Swooping in, grabbing a hold. I'm not going to make you guys roll any checks for this. Grabbing a hold of kind of the rope, as well as digging a little bit into the flesh. Go ahead and just, I'm sure there's a giant eagle talon.
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to roll a strength check for the giant eagle, or?
No, I just I want to see how much. I'm sure the damage is insignificant. You can find that. I'm pretty sure it's just
3d6 plus 3.
3d6 plus 3.
2d6.
2d6 plus 3.
Let me roll that.
No, I got you.
Okay.
She takes 9 points of piercing damage as you dig into a little bit, scraping across her back, and you can see her grimace, but the frantic nature of wanting to get up there, and you pulling heavily between all of that, you're able to hoist her the rest of the way up, and she is on the portion of the bridge that is still supported by the massive, the rock formation underneath of it that was used as the brace for building it. I thought I was gone. I could see so many
right.
near-death experiences. I'm ready to get home.
Right.
Now looking
okay.
across the bridge, seeing the cart on the other side with massive 15, 20-foot section of the center of the bridge now missing. How do you plan on getting this wagon across, if at all?
How far can one jump in D&D?
It's
15 times your strength or score.
Oh, that's carry. Jump he's asking for.
Yeah, it should be the same.
I don't think so.
Oh, jump distance is different than that.
Long jump, D&D.
Cover a number of feet of your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump.
So your strength score is 22, isn't it? Because you have the hill giant strength?
21.
21, so you can jump 21 feet.
Okay.
If you're asking me if you can, with the wagon above your head, run and jump 21 feet to clear this ravine?
I had to
He's
try.
got the strength of a bull, John.
Does. And he's got the strength of a bull and a giant.
Sensibility, and I'm in my werewolf form. I leave that up to you. That's just...
I'm not going to tell you that you can't. You can try anything you'd like.
So I can't pick it up and jump with it. The other option would be I try to just toss it over, but that's still a lot. And
I mean, it's 150 pounds, you said, right? I can pick it up and bring it over.
It's just about the awkwardness, unless you fashion some sort of harness.
Could I take the rope off of Krima and fasten something that'd be easier to grip onto?
You can certainly try, for sure.
Yeah, I go up to Anderson and I my talons are kind of going like this, and I just kind of screech in his face, and I'm kind of clawing at the rope.
Yeah.
I can hear your game.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying.
She mutes it and then she talks. It's great.
Okay. I'm going to take the rope from the tied around Kramer. I'm going to jump to the other side of the bridge and try to fasten the rope around the cart and try to make it easier for Radovan to grab onto with his talons.
Okay. Give me either a sleight of hand, or I'll even give you a survival with doing some sort of hunting and things like that. You probably would have learned how to tie or create certain types of knots or traps.
Yeah, I think sleight of hands can still be better.
Okay. With, you said 60 feet of rope is what you had?
Yeah.
60 feet of rope. Finding a way similar to the way that you would wrap a bow around a present. Finding a way to make that central point with all four sides of the wagon covered. You feel that you've done the best that you can. And now, Radovan, seeing this, and inside of the open wagon top, you can see just the crossing of the rope in that central portion where you feel that you would be able to pick it up. I imagine you swoop down and grab it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Picking it up and carrying it across. Anderson, give me a perception check. Okay.
Bad.
I will say before Radovan picks it up, one thing, as you were kind of throwing the rope through underneath and wrapping it and tying it, as you see Radovan coming down to pick it up, you notice that along one of the edges of the cart, you see some fraying of the rope from where it probably was grinding against the stone, had been tied around Krima as she was struggling to get up.
Okay. Boy.
You've got very limited time to try to communicate this to Radovan before he's off.
As he goes like try to pick it up, I just kind of like wave him away, say, wait, hang on, and I point to the frayed part of the rope.
Yeah, you can see the tension fully brings the fray into view, where you can see that it still has a decent amount, but the outer portions of the rope kind of tousled and jutting out to the side to where it's probably only got half of its normal strength.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what other BS I can fashion.
I know I really feel like I'm turning this molehill into a mountain, but
Wait, okay. Who is on the other side of the bridge? So we have
everybody except for Radovan.
Well, I mean, like, who's not going to go check on Honora? Like,
there's
just...
okay. Actually, with you saying
Honora.
that, everyone you don't see anybody. When you turn back around, you just see Krima.
Okay. I was hoping someone else might have had rope, but that seems out of the question.
Guac!
Oh, dude, I have no idea what to do aside from just picking this thing up.
I'm gonna fly over and pick you up and bring you over to the cart.
Fly over and bring who to the cart?
Anderson.
I mean, he's already at the cart.
Yeah, I'm already at the cart.
You are?
Yeah, he
I'm
waved
gonna
you
like
off.
nudge his hands to grab the cart, and then I'm gonna grab him.
Like, do you want me to grab the cart and you pick up both of us? Like, both me and the cart? Is that what you're trying to say?
You can only guess.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna hold onto the wheel and then just be carried across. This is gonna be great. I can't wait to see how this works out.
But I'm trying to with my big beak face, I'm trying to nudge your hands to the cart. I'm trying to grab you.
On the cart, is there a good place for me to grip?
You're a strong boy.
Yeah, but if it's like an awkward hold, you can be as strong as you want. That's not gonna.
Maybe at the spot where the rope is fraying.
Actually, might not be a bad idea.
You hold the two ends of the rope to make sure that it stays tied together.
Like, actually, it's not a bad idea.
Oh my god!
What is this cart? Is this cart gonna like fall out? Like if he grabs onto a wheel, and as long as he's holding onto the wheel, when we go up in the air, it's gonna fall apart? It's gonna detach from the wheel that.
Haven't we already dealt with one issue with this cart? I felt like we already dealt with one wheel breaking or something. We didn't. Okay, I must have been thinking of something
No,
else.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think that was something like way back.
Okay. All right.
Our first cart. Our first
Oh,
cart. Remember, guys?
Wait,
Our first cart.
Yeah.
The cart.
Back in Wallachia. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Okay. You can certainly try. You can grab onto the wooden wheels.
So yeah.
This is the third time that carts have been the bane of my existence in this campaign.
I'll try to like grab onto the wheels as well as like just the frayed part of the rope so that the weight kind of rests on the good parts of the rope.
Okay.
and just have Radovan pick me up while I'm holding this thing.
Alrighty.
Yeah, as soon as you do that, I grab a hold of your torso and your legs, and
yeah, your talons just actually just curl over top of his shoulders and kind of nuzzle into his armpits, and the other one kind of curling up to meet the other talon, just holding on. And give me a strength check with advantage.
Who, me?
No, actually, wait. Yeah, you've got the additional carrying. Yeah, this is for Anderson, not for you, Radovan. You're good.
So
this was for him
athletics?
holding. Yeah, give it an athletics check with advantage because you have your bull strength for your carrying.
Two ones.
God.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
All that time, just as soon as you pick it up, it just falls down into the water. Yeah, you're able to make it across. The cart lifting off the ground, and you hold it, and you can see that there was no way in hell this rope was going to hold if you were to pick it up. And you make it across, setting the wagon back down, deconstructing the rope, and repiling the goods back into the other side. And Krima still kind of out of breath, dealing with the trauma from the recent events. Thanks you, and
yay, we did it. We crossed a bridge, guys.
It only took us an hour. Yes,
we did it.
These are the wonderful moments, though. Before I turn back into an elf, I'm gonna go up into the sky and kind of do a once over just to like get some use out of.
Other than being payload carry.
I mean, you know what? I take it back. We got a lot of use out of this wild shape form. You know, that could have turned into a disaster. That would have really set us back. But we made it across.
Give me a perception check.
Okay, it looks like the perception check is passive perception. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll just do a wisdom check, and that should be the same as a giant eagle's perception.
Okay.
Do I have advantage? I do have advantage.
Okay.
Do one more.
Hey,
there we go.
There you go.
As you're flying up, you see a couple things. Getting up higher into the sky, you can see that you are nearing the end of this mountain pass, and probably only about an hour more of walking, and you'll be out of the snowy mountains and into the green, swampy lands of the forest. You also see Temperance. In Temperance, you can see the giant eagle flying above you, probably, several hundred feet around or away from Honora, who's kind of around a bend on the other side. Another thing catches your eye, and you don't really know what to make of it yet. You haven't really seen anything like it before. A little ways away from Honora, kind of just above the trees, you can see a vapor cloud, like a mist almost. And as you're looking at it, it's a concentrated form of mist. And it just seems to be sifting with the wind, headed back north, away from the mountains.
Like, wait, so is it like the mists that kind of bound?
No.
Keep the boundaries? No. Okay.
It is like the mists when you were in Death House.
Oh.
If you recall all the way back to Radovan,
probably
you could potentially. You've been around long enough, and have probably heard tales of
Strahd just turning into mist and
Yes.
Yeah.
But also a deep callback from our first session into Barovia when the wagon crashed and you were confronted by several wolves. There was one
There's a wolf.
outlier,
Mhm.
larger than the rest, white with red eyes.
Oh, and goddamn, that was Strahd.
Well, that was never confirmed.
It
It was
was
heavily.
in
It was
in the
heavily.
in the death
implied.
house. He had said, "I
Oh yeah.
saw you in your
Yeah.
prowess." But anyways, and that's when he insulted Nicodemus and told him he was weak and fat.
He shouldn't have gone down.
Relevant
Sounds like it was well
information for-
deserved.
Yeah. Anyways, that is what you see in your bird form up in the sky.
Okay. Well, I'll find Honora, maybe knowing that she's hurt, and go down next to her if I can find her.
Anderson, and even Ramiz. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get used to saying your new name. Anderson and Ramiz, like even back from you trailing off a little bit later than everybody else, you can see the giant eagle that is Radovan swooping down to. You don't know the exact location, but you can see them
Radovan,
swooping
are
down.
you a normal looking bird or do you have distinguishing marks when you animal shift?
Do I have distinguished what marks?
Just
Distinguishing marks. Yeah, anything that would make Honora think that you weren't just some eagle that was attacking her for no reason, like the stupid rock.
Yeah, my wings are have stars all over
Okay, there
the
you go.
bottom.
I was waiting for something ridiculous, but all right, that tracks. There you go.
Yeah. So you have like more of a blue tinge, nighttime tinge to your.
Plumage.
Yeah.
White speckled dots under the underside to make it look like the night sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Then,
But
as you come near
I
me,
mean,
I'll
it's
be
not
in
a
a.
really good job.
I
Maybe it
would
just looks
probably
like a
be
polka dotted.
like
Uh,
a wary like attack stance, and then I see that it's you because I've
well, I
seen you
wouldn't
wild
go
before. Yeah.
right up to you. Then I would, you know, keep
Well,
my distance if
I
you look.
would figure if you don't look like a regular eagle, then I would stop and put my sword down. What?
If I see Radovan going down, then I'm probably gonna rush into that direction then.
Okay.
It's taking you all so
Temperance
long.
is still just walking.
Been
Do I cross
crying.
Temperance's path?
Yes.
Eventually, yeah, you would catch up to Temperance, looking like she's just dancing along, listening to her Zune.
Zune. Oh my god, dude. No, she wouldn't have a Zune. She's
It's an
17.
iPod Mini, baby.
All right.
Talking
I
about the
would rush past
Walkman.
her.
The Walkman.
I would rush past her and be like, Radovan. Da-da-da-da-da. Keep running.
Okay.
Temperance pays no mind to that.
If you welcome me that way, I think I might just stay in eagle form and kind of just keep my distance.
Why are you guys taking so long? It's just a stupid bridge. It's just a stupid bird. None of it matters.
I peck at my feathers.
See, you agree. Well, wait, no. You didn't agree. I'm so confused.
Squawk!
What do you want?
I'll just
An hour
wait for
session
the others
on
to
Nora
catch up.
crying.
Apparently it makes John laugh, so it's fine.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I mean, because I'm thinking about like my attempt at a bird screech and how like equally on the other end of the spectrum it's terrible. Like, but yeah. Yeah. Anyways, very funny. Anderson and Krima pulling up the rear. Eventually, you all kind of reconvene again. They catch up. An hour later, you get down towards.
Yeah, we'll probably just
Is that our
continue
token
walking.
right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved
On
it.
that little bridge? Okay.
Yeah, that was the bridge.
Okay, cool.
So
Gotta remake it though, because only 2 of those characters are the same.
oh my gosh.
Don't even worry
yeah.
about that. Don't even worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Just put a little X's to where for the characters that haven't made it this far.
Hey, don't put an X on Panton.
No, put
Still
2
alive.
X's on Panton.
Maybe though.
Like 6 X's on Panton if you can fit it in that little token.
Wow, you hate Panton that much. Jesus. It's a good thing he left.
Continuing to wind through the pass, eventually you make it back out to green. You can still see somewhat speckles of snow or cold areas as you're still in relatively higher elevation, but you can see on your left-hand side the Svalich Woods. It has been several hours of you walking in the day, probably getting a little closer to sundown. It'd probably be pretty difficult if you were following the paths to make it all the way to Argynvost.
Right.
Or Argynvost Holt tonight.
I assume after a while, Anderson will just kind of pull everyone to the side and say, we should probably rest here for the night. Don't want to go out when we can't see.
Would probably pull into the woods as well. Just to offer us a little bit more protection, if may add.
Well,
The wolves are in the wood.
So long as we don't go too deep in there, I think that's fine.
Would you rather be in the open or a little bit of cover?
The wolves are in the
Well,
wood.
that's why I'm saying we don't go too deep in. We can go a little bit.
It's fine.
Radovan,
Do you speak wolf too?
Do you want me to speak wolf? Lenora, I know there's some hesitancy about my being here. I mean you no harm. I mean you no ill will. I'm sorry that you don't think of me.
I don't know you to think of you at all.
Yet
We
you
met
treat
you
me with
this-
such hostility.
We met you this morning.
No.
So, excuse me, in a place that has done nothing but try to kill us.
And what wrong
For
have I done
months.
to you yet?
What wrong did Strahd do to us yet?
You're
I mean,
taking her attitude very personally.
he
Yes.
was nice to us in the beginning, and then he tried to kill us. So I'm sorry. It'll take
So-
longer than a day to get me to trust you, especially with the timeliness of your arrival.
I'm sorry about your brothers.
You don't know
Behind
anything
you.
about my brother, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't talk about him.
I
Look-
do know nothing
Look,
about your brother.
we're all tired. Can we all just pack it in for the night, please?
Let's just stay in the open and have a watch. It'll be the safest.
In the
If Anora's
open?
worried about wolves in the wood, it's better just to be here.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree with the two of them.
Well, that's what we'll do then. Let's just start setting up camping. Just get a good night's sleep.
We'll probably go about 100 feet off to the southeast, just a little higher up on the hill, so we're not the ravine.
You're gonna do that? Because you don't speak for the group. You're welcome to do that.
I mean,
no one is
I
stopping
think,
you.
I think Anderson would see that as a good idea and go along with it.
I'm terribly sorry. What is this idea that I missed?
We're gonna
Just
try
run straight to Castle Ravenloft right now.
Joseph's gonna carry us.
Fuck rests. No, nothing at all. We're gonna take all the exhaustion points that we can, and we're gonna meet Strahd head on.
Yeah,
We're just gonna go up the nearest hill and call it the night right there.
Radovan, being relatively familiar with this terrain, you would know that while you probably wouldn't be able to take the cart through the woods like efficiently, you are probably only about a 2-hour trek or so, maybe 3 at the most, to the Wizard of Wines.
Then, as kind of towards the end of that bickering about like what to do, you said it would be difficult to push the cart through the woods, but it could be done. And
it could be done, yeah. Yeah, it would be
if we
difficult.
push a little further, I don't know, since we've been gone so long, if it's still inhabited, but there are friends. It's a place called the Wizard of Wines. I think you mentioned you'd been there.
Oh god, that seems like forever ago. But
is it
Radovan,
really this close?
Radovan, do you still? Radovan, do you still have the gem?
Do I have the gem? Oh, the Druid gem.
The gem from Baba Lasaga's house.
Of course.
Okay. Well, if they're still there, that was something they were seeking.
Right.
One
That's
thing.
right.
Go ahead, Anderson. I'll let you finish your thought. I think you might say
just-
what I'm going to say.
yeah, well, Anderson was just gonna say, look, we said we were gonna go there anyway. I feel like, I mean, if we are close, might be worth it just to go.
I mean, at least to
What
give
we went there
Krima a safe place to sleep for the night. I agree.
All of us. It's a much more defensible position.
Anderson-
You
Hopefully
said that
we'll
it's
find
been a
allies
while
there.
since you've been there.
But also,
Do we know that they're still there?
They had something to fight Strahd. Like, we went there to do their quest to get another item to fight Strahd, right?
No, they had this.
Yeah, but then we got
Babylab.
it at
Right, but
Argon's Hold.
That is right.
We got it from Argon's Hold anyway. Gotcha.
And how
Yeah.
did they get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They still there? You said
don't
you
know.
were there a while ago.
Well,
And
it's been about 3 months Barovia time, I think.
But still, there's the building. However,
Yeah, it's shelter.
We should probably also just go check up on them, make sure.
if they are still
Make
there,
sure
they
they're
may
not
need
hurt.
assistance. Absolutely. I agree.
We'll take your lead if that is what you want to do. But
Who are
it
you
is
directing
going to
that
be-
at?
Anderson. I'm not even talking to you because I know you're hostile to me. But we are going to be pushing ourselves and exerting a little bit of strength we have left and then some.
Okay, who made you the unofficial leader of this group?
I'm not leading. He is. Clearly. You are just antagonistic to me.
Again, you are a stranger that showed up
Yes,
this
I am.
morning.
I
Could
am
you
well
maybe
aware that
take
I'm
a back seat and get to know us a little bit first before you start bossing us around?
I'm not.
Both of you
I'm letting
shut
him
the
lead.
hell up. Now, look, at the very least, I know the people at the Wizard of Wine. I want to go check up on them. It ain't gonna be easy, but I need to know that they're okay.
And with this, Krima, I really hate to burden you any more than what it appears you already are, but I really want to make it home to my husband and son, and that's the opposite direction. I'm afraid if you go to the Wizard of Wines, that's where we part ways, and you'll be responsible for carrying this skull the rest of the way. I can't spare any more time. I must make it home.
We understand, Krima.
No, that's fair.
100%.
You think you can make it home
I
safe?
agree.
I know these woods. My biggest threat has left me alone for now. I think I'll be okay. And she walks over to Honora and kind of gets down on one knee and like wraps a massive arm around
I'll hug
you.
her back.
And
Yeah.
like, yeah,
The
your
best I
arms
can.
get around like
Around
part
her
of it.
thumb.
Yeah.
Her wrist, maybe.
I hope you find your brother. Don't ever give up hope.
Thank you, Krima. I'm so happy that we were able to find you. And I'll start to bawl again.
Thank you all for everything. Be safe. And she picks up her massive barrel of meat and leaves the other barrels and continues on.
So
She
does
can
she leave?
take the whole card. I would say, but we take the whole thing with you. We
Well,
only
how
took
are
the
you
cart-
gonna carry the skull?
Anderson
can-
carried it out of Strahd's
Carried-
house.
Definitely
Well,
didn't carry it no fucking several miles.
Yeah, that was like at most like that wasn't even an hour.
Yeah, but we
I
could
have
tie a
some
rope
magic
to it.
left. I can enhance him again.
What if we tie a rope to it and put it on one of those furs and drag it?
One of those
And then
what?
we could take turns.
Oh,
Uh,
from
The
the
furs, we
barbarians?
stole some from the barbarian camp.
Yeah, they took a bunch of the furs, the blankets, things like that. To
So
keep
we
you guys
wrap it in the
warm
fur to
while
protect it from the ground. We tie a rope on the
makeshift
skull.
sled, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
you
It's
go.
a
Oh,
sound
forgot to do
idea.
that.
if
It
you
doesn't
don't-
take as
Do we
much
have much rope
strength.
left?
I have 50 feet of rope.
And actually,
Oh,
that would
that's fine.
probably fit through the forest a lot easier than what a wagon
cart.
would. It'll,
Speed up our travel
You-
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Krima,
Well,
you
let's
take
get to
the
it.
cart. You take everything else that's on there. You said you were providing for your family. Well, provide. Hopefully we cross paths again. And hopefully there'll be a little more trust between you and me. At least. So,
We will see.
you-
Places
Wish
the
you the best of
barrel
luck.
back into the cart and nods at each one of you respectfully, and then hear the creaking of the wood wagon. She's plodding off down the road. As she gets several hundred feet, right before it takes a bend, she kind of turns back to see you all fashioning yourself a fur sled with rope. And she disappears
I
around
wave.
the corner.
Right. Well,
Anderson,
Yeah,
it's your lead. Go ahead.
I'll start like dragging the skull behind me as I walk through where the Wizard of Wine is.
I'll
Okay.
try to help.
Alrighty.
And I will cast. Ooh.
I don't think I need enhance ability, so you can save your spell slot for that.
Well, in that case, then I will cast Pass Without a Trace.
You're out of your eagle form at this point, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that. Yeah, once people caught up with me and Honora, I think I would have.
You wouldn't be afraid of her beating you?
Well, I didn't land next to her
Oh, okay, yeah.
close
Alrighty.
enough to.
Does
keep
your
an eye on.
passive without a trace cover all of us?
It's 30
Yeah.
foot
Yeah.
Okay.
around him.
Are you all attempting to walk stealthily through the woods?
Um,
Might as well.
would pass without a trace allow us to drag the makeshift shed?
I mean,
sled?
I feel like anything helps with that.
Yeah, I mean, it just
Lugging
gives
a
what it just
giant
gives you
skull.
plus 10 to your stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would we try doing it stealthily?
I mean, I don't see why not. Personally.
Oh, we're gonna take some points of exhaustion.
And
We'll
I mean,
be
if
fine
we're gonna
with
be there in
when we
like
drink all the
3
wine
hours,
at the
I
Wizard of
think we
Wines.
should still be fine theoretically.
There's any left.
oh my god,
All
1
right.
point of exhaustion is just disadvantage on skill checks. Doesn't even bother you in a fight. It's fine.
It's not the fight that I'm worried about. It's the events leading up to the fight.
Yeah, especially if you have to cross another bridge.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Dude, if there's another bridge, we're just gonna turn around.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
We're gonna
Or a
rest
cart.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh man, if we run into another cart.
All right, then yeah, we'll pass.
Joseph and the bad
stealthily.
carts.
God.
Alrighty,
Well,
go
it's
ahead
a couple
and
hours. Holy shit.
everybody that's how long does Pass Without a Trace last for?
An hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use
You
that
would
spell all the time.
you would have to cast it a total of 3 times if you wanted to make it all the way there. While
Okay.
I have a couple castings myself, so don't burn all your spell slots, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
I
All
will
right.
peek up.
You want to do 2 of them for me?
Wow.
I've
okay.
done a lot today. I've summoned a dragon. I've halted a rock from slaying our best
Wow.
friend.
Okay. Hey.
I've, healed
Take
them
it
both
easy there,
afterwards.
Now you have to have that
It
conversation
was-
in
I
character.
feel good.
Radovan, Ramis, in character.
You healed as well, but that's fine. Look, I need to prove my worth, so sure. I will burn 2 spell slots for a Pass Without a Trace.
Alrighty.
So we're all making stealth checks then.
If you can help Vale on passage through the woods this night, that would be most appreciated. Did you like that, Sarah?
Yeah, thank you. It was beautiful.
It's a 33 from me. Do you want us to roll 3 checks, or do you want us to roll?
I'll do it one
check?
at a time.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty.
Princess Hat doesn't do her any favors.
It's
still
like
20.
it's really dark too, right?
Our lowest roll is a 20, so it's fine.
Oh, am I in complete darkness?
If you wanted to be in complete darkness, I guess I wouldn't consider it complete darkness. I would say that it's like there's a lot of shadows. Like you're getting to the point to where it is dark, but what's the flavoring on complete darkness? Like I picture that as like
complete darkness,
a
I'm
room with.
invisible.
Okay, yeah, I picture that as like a room or a cave where there's no outside source of light. So I don't know if I would be there quite yet.
I might light a candle, a very particular candle.
I would try to blow out that candle every time I see you try to light it.
Well,
Radovan, is that your second stealth check?
Or do you have disadvantage for some reason?
That's my second stealth check, but I was thinking if it was so dark and our friends can't see very well, I was going to light a certain candle, maybe away from Ramis, since he seems to be allergic to light for some reason. And it seems that this candle that I've lit gives me advantage on a lot of all my ability checks.
Okay.
Very special candle. So
yeah.
I might use that to
We'll stay out of your way.
So your first hour, you maintain through the woods, staying relatively quiet.
I'm on CC Webs. I told you off limits. Go away.
Finding a path for the skull to travel. Everyone, roll your second stealth check. Okay.
That hat's getting more useful as it gets.
God,
darker.
Anora.
Fighter. Still a 16. Almost as good as Radovan's.
Okay. At this point, still feeling confident that you have not been seen or heard as you're traversing through the woods, roll your final as you're through the woods now and out into what you can see is the open field. You can see the vineyard, the massive amounts of rows of grapevines. 19, 34, 14, 15.
Oh, sorry.
God, guys, what is wrong with your rolls?
You don't even see Anderson pushing the skull. You just see nothing pulling this massive skull.
Right.
There's something moving in the woods.
As you're
Sonora and Temperance.
as you're walking kind of out in the open, you can see that a few birds have taken notice of your presence, fluttering out of the grass and flying to nearby trees and kind of watching.
I want to wave. Friendly.
Are these like ravens or are they just regular birds?
It's hard to tell. It's really dark. They are
Fair
dark
enough.
colored.
Does my dark vision help out?
Wait, you have dark vision?
Yes, I do.
Wait, how do you have dark vision? That's so cool.
You're the Gloomstalker.
Oh shit, that's right.
You know what? Take into account my natural one. I didn't realize, we're traveling for 3 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna burn the candle that long.
Okay.
That seems silly.
Which candle are you burning again?
This purple candle of invocation, a wondrous item, very rare.
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah, I
It
thought
has
so.
4 hours of duration. Doesn't seem worth it.
As you're approaching the Wizard of Wines, you see that it is more disheveled than it was when you had left previously. There's no lights on the inside, no flame or candle or hearth light coming in through the windows. In fact, most of the windows have been busted out. Overgrowth, vines kind of growing up and into the side of the building, some of them even reaching into through the broken windows. It is, at least from an outward appearance, extremely run down.
Anderson will turn to the group and say, "Look, I can go up and try to listen for anyone in there if you all want to get my back."
Come with you.
That's okay. He'll come with you, so you're gonna be safe.
Well, the rest of you just stay put and look out for any danger then. Anderson is going to sneakily try to go up to the house and try to use his keen hearing to listen for any movement inside the house.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
You want one from me as well?
Yeah, you can if you're.
Only because he wants to roll his plus 13.
12. Don't be jealous. God.
You gotta be a werewolf, man.
Next. He's gonna see that you're a werewolf and he's gonna go werewolf too, just so he can compete.
Take 3 levels of blood hunter just to be a werewolf.
Nah, I'll just go talk to the werewolves to just be an actual werewolf.
Somebody will bite me in the neck. That's fine, right? That's how that works, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the neck, right. That's not werewolf.
There you go. It's fine.
Vampire,
Okay.
werewolf, same.
Pretty much. They're all the same.
1 second. Sorry.
How far away from the house are we? The ones that are waiting, not Anderson and Ramis.
How far would you have stopped?
Well, how far away we would have seen the house with enough detail to know that we needed to stop.
If you would have seeing the disheveled look of the house and thought of it as a threat to not continue any forward for any further towards the house, I'd probably say a couple 100 feet, 200 feet. All right, I'm looking for something specific in my notes.
Okay, so he's out of earshot, is what I want to know.
Oh, yeah, more than likely. If you're whispering, yeah, out of earshot. But if you're talking of like,
Headshot.
yeah, if you're talking louder than normal, then it would probably still be able to be heard.
No, it would be quiet because we're trying to be quiet.
Yeah, it's a quiet night. You can hear the chirping of, you know, like crickets, just the very distant passive cawing of a bird, probably
Okay.
a raven.
Then to Radovan and Temperance, how long are we going to entertain this freak?
What do you mean?
He showed up the moment Panton left. You guys don't see that as suspicious at all? With all of Panton's stuff, claiming that he was fine.
Well, that is very suspicious.
And you guys are
Didn't
just
you
following.
find it suspicious when Radovan appeared after we were in the lantern? I mean, this place is strange.
Radovan made more sense because we rescued him. He was one of the trapped souls in that lantern with us. Maybe we never met him in the lantern, but clearly he was a prisoner like we were. He was a victim. You also appearing in war-torn Vallaki, you know, helping out you is something that made sense. This guy worries me. We don't know anything about him except for some weird order that he claims to be from. I know Anderson believes him, but I don't know.
Well, should we take the time to find him out this evening? If it's safe in there?
Maybe.
Look.
What if he's Strahd in disguise?
I don't get that sense.
You said it yourself, Strahd is a coward. He faced a giant bird down.
From afar. He was squawking at it like.
But he tried to talk to it. I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, while I was scouting out the path ahead, there was a wolf. Red eyes, white fur. I'd seen it before.
I've heard of this.
What does it mean?
Well,
I believe it's one of Strahd's disguises.
That's what the rumors point to.
Strahd himself
I did see a strange
claimed
cloud of mist leave the area about the time that I found you.
Isn't Ramiz with all of you? If that's Strahd, then Ramiz can't be.
I don't know. I didn't see him, but obviously I was away from the group. I don't know where he was when all this went down. Radovan?
Yes, he was helping us get the wagon across the bridge. But I mean, the only reason I haven't gone searching after Panton is because you haven't. If that's something you wish to do.
No.
It's not a good idea.
Panton has ways that if he doesn't want to be found, he's not going to be found. And he made it very clear if that letter is real, that he doesn't want to be found.
I had my problems with your brother. But these things that you're telling me, they never stopped you before. But if you've given him up for lost, then
For now. For now. I think he needs time to get his head on straight. I have faith that when he's ready, he'll seek me out. And I only pray and
Amen.
hope that he is the same Panton that I know and love when he does. This place warps people. This place messes with people's head. That's why I can't trust Ramis right off the bat, because I don't know what his intentions are.
he won some of my trust in the way that he dealt with the rock. I'm not ready to discuss that with you. I felt very strongly about that situation.
During this time, a couple things are happening. Anderson, listening in, you don't hear anything on the inside of the building. Sniffing around, you do smell death, decay. While you don't see any remnants, you can, with your senses, smell it. Ramis, unfamiliar with this building, having never been here before, kind of scouting around, looking, you can see bolts, arrows littered into the fence posts. You can see weapons scattered. You even see, as you're getting over towards the garage, I don't know what you would call it, basically where the carriage was stored, you can see blood spattered on the walls. Still no corpses to be found. During this time, one thing is apparent, though, that all of you hear is the cawing of the birds from the nearby vines from the vineyard, the trees that you can see, the cawing getting louder, more rapid, more frantic. And then they cease to exist, stopping, dead, silent, until you hear clapping, rhythmic. And for some of you, a very familiar voice.
Ira?
I have been following you for quite some time. Impressive what you have been able to do. Surviving the Amber Temple is not something that any mere mortal could do. I come here to extend an invitation. You can see
Which group, or is he like in between us?
He's in between you. So he's
Okay.
probably about, 50, 60 yards from any of you.
Strahd.
He's just walking right towards him.
Same. Menora's probably heading in the same direction. She hasn't pulled her blade yet, but she is walking closer.
I'm right behind Anderson. Bow pulled.
You will find no one here. I have taken them all to my castle. They are tending to their vineyard there. I must
Are
have
they
only the
alive?
finest wines for this event.
Or are they undead?
Some of them did not go quietly. Others, once they saw the the ramifications of not doing as asked.
You tyrant.
Look, you're inviting us to an event. Why? You don't seem to like us.
We don't like you either.
Because it is very important to me, and I think to you all, at least somewhat, as well. I am to be wed.
Another thrall?
Not this time.
It's to Irina. You know she doesn't love you, right?
She's never going to love you.
If you could only hear her tune change.
Oh, let me guess. You're brainwashing her again.
I have not this time, I swear.
Oh, and I can trust you.
Do you have a brother in the dungeon or something? Where's Ismark?
Ismark is still in the town. Velaki.
Alive?
Yes, of course. If he is sort of a face of the town. He keeps the peace. I have spared his life in order for him and just for his cooperation.
I'll look at Anderson. Try to get a read on if he believes him or not.
Right. Let's play this little game. And tell me, Strahd, where and when is this event going to take place?
2 weeks' time. We must wait for the grapes to be harvested and turned into the new vintage of wine. It's going to use some arcane powers to make it speed up the process a little. But I can promise you, what you saw when you visited unannounced, it was only the beginnings of the fantastic event, the statues, the flowers, the food, the festivities that will be held in 2 weeks' time. It's everyone who is anyone will be there, and I have it on good authority that everyone will be on their best behavior. The time of peace. I will not attack the town. They will not attack me.
Anderson, he's gonna get, like, closer to Strahd, within, like, arm's length, and say, why don't you just kill us and get it over with? Why do any of this? Why bother?
You are a monster that toys with us like a cat.
I mean, it's
You a
clear you're gonna
mouse.
try to kill us eventually. Just get it over with, why don't you?
And he turns to Ramiz. I sensed your presence when you came across the veil, but I do not know you. Make no mistake. I do not respect you the same way that I respect them. I do not know your skill or your prowess. You have not tested yourself. So you hold your tongue.
I have no respect for you either, and I guess that is where our conversation will end.
Now, Irina wished me to have you here, have you there, as her guests, not mine. I make this visit on her behalf. To me, it is as this new blood says. It is only delaying the inevitable. You might have snuck into my castle and found whatever it is you were seeking. Looking back at the skull of Argynvost.
It is wrapped in a...
Oh, that's right, it is wrapped.
That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah, but it is admittedly a form-fitting dragon skull shape. If Strahd's
Yeah.
But I can assure you that it will never be enough.
Anderson leans in and says, "Go fuck yourself."
Or we'll do it for you.
And as you say, "Go fuck yourself," the mist just swirls, and his human visage just disappears, and the mist just spins off into the wind northeast, away towards Valaki / Castle Ravenloft.
Yeah, like that general direction.
And Nora's gonna fall to the ground and just be upset.
Radavan's gonna lean over to Honora and say, "That is very much like the mist I saw earlier."
Yes. Thank you, Radavan. Yes.
And
We're just
I
gonna
don't
stand
think he
back
liked
and say,
that.
ugh, I hate weddings.
We need to save Irina. There's no way she's there willingly. She's chorused her somehow.
that is
With
where we'll
magic.
pick up next week or next time.